Now, as I mentioned before, there is always some degree of risk and experimentation that occurs when you are tackling some of our world's greatest challenges, especially when we're funding and testing out new models. The onus is entirely on us as givers to think through how it is we can best mitigate that risk. One way for a nonprofit to translate some of that risk into social good is to put in place what I call, and many in the sector call, a knowledge management strategy. Once we understand how a nonprofit assesses its impact, it needs to reflect upon and share that learning with others. So ask the nonprofit, what has been its greatest setback and resulting learning opportunity to date? This will most likely help you tease out whether the nonprofit incorporates self-assessment already, as well as self-reflection at every step of its processes. This question will indicate if there is a culture of consistent iteration and improvement across the organization. And if it is a larger nonprofit, you can ask how that information is disseminated across teams and locations, let alone other organizations. If the organization is operated in a more crowded space with numerous other nonprofits pursuing similar missions, ask if it has partnerships with nonprofits, with businesses, with hospitals, with the education system, or with governments. If so, how does that organization coordinate and share knowledge with its core partners? Ask how they differ from other nonprofits within the same social issue and same arena of mission intent. And that in particular is a good indicator of whether or not they duplicate services and if they are competitive or collaborative. Creating goals aligned with a nonprofit's mission, integrating evaluation into its work, as well as capturing and sharing key learning will improve how you make decisions in the future. Even more important, however, is taking that knowledge, i.e. what works and what doesn't work, and sharing it with other funders so that other donors, be they institutions or individuals, might co-invest if impact is proven insignificant, or not invest. Because if they do reinvent the wheel and invest in an organization that in some cases hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of other donors have already invested in, they're essentially wasting those dollars when those dollars could be invested for infinitely greater social impact elsewhere. It is knowledge sharing that evolves our social sector as a whole. And either way, the nonprofit will be able to better create impact for the people it serves and prove whether or not it should receive your philanthropy and the philanthropy of others amidst this massive sea of worthy organizations that make up global social change. Assessing and evaluating impact can be a tricky space, both for first-time givers and even major foundations and veteran philanthropists. I still find it incredibly hard, and I've been doing this work for 18 years. Social impact created through philanthropic programs is difficult to track for many reasons, but often due to limited systems to gather data, limited metrics to indicate social change, and lack of universally accepted metrics to track short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term progress along major social issues. With so many major factors influencing every social issue, it is quite difficult to know if the results recognized by a philanthropic program are due to causation or simply correlation. Specifically, did the intervention cause the social change, or was the social change merely correlated with other surrounding factors?